But this is where I play my best music, right here, amongst my little things and books and my mementos of life, my Animaniacs, my Eminem Men, and, you know, my stuff. And, you know, it's a simple life, but, you know, for a musician, you really can't have much more than this, because you're never around to appreciate the stuff you got, because you're always out on the road, or you can't afford a lot of rent, so you live with roommates. And, you know, I'm lucky I got great roommates. I've had them for 5 years, you know, and we don't complain. You know, you guys can saw the kitchen, the camera crew, and you guys all saw the kitchen. It's kind of a mess, but, you know, when it gets too bad, somebody cleans it up, and it's just kind of it's a real democracy here. That's kind of cool. But, and I try to not play music when my roommates are home because I'm so loud. But they never have complained, you know. Not once have they said, "Oh, shut up," or "Be quiet." There's kind of a weird freedom here, you know. Even though it's a very small place, I got a lot of freedom, you know. And I don't have that when I play on stage sometimes, but I get it here.
The point of this film is to talk about us doing this independently without the support of major label help or major distribution or marketing, you know, radio support. For the most part, we do this on our own, you know. And how is that for you? How was it for Ashley and Mark as a duo, and how is it for you now as Uncle Mark Reynolds, you know, doing this thing on your own? You know, you're self-marketing, self-promoting. You know, you've got some help with a little independent label here, run by none other than, you know, other musicians. Exactly. Another singer-songwriter, Kevin Lawson, runs that label, right?
Yeah, they just started it up too, so that's kind of cool, you know, that, you know, the thing for me is, I guess, with this whole independent music thing is like that people do it because they love it at this level. They still love it, you know. I think Mick Jagger still loves it, yes, but not like Kevin Lawson or yourself or me or Matthew Kaler or Caroline Aiken, who do this because they love it. They'll spend 15 hours on the road to get to a gig because they love to play. Now, maybe they're making $1,200 at a college gig, but maybe they're making $5 and a meal and a beer. But they do it because they really love playing for 15 people. They enjoy the music. It's like
that's great guitar.
Oh, no, this guitar sounds awesome. Good sounding box. Yeah, this one sounds okay. The other one sounds great, but I couldn't get it to work through all of its junk. Well, this one was signed by Howard Finster, and he was an old artist guy up in North Georgia, and he passed on, but he played it one day, and he signed it. He wrote all over it. He said, "God loves you so much, and so do I. Love." This old Finster. That old Finster. He was 82 when he picked it up. I watched a special a while back on country music, and the old guys were talking about how they used to get in these ratty buses and travel for hours, and they'd run in each other at truck stops, and they got $10 a day. You know, granted this was the 50s, but still, they did it because they loved it, not because they were making money at it. And that's what the independent's about. Ani DeFranco, you and I have talked about 100 times. What a wonderful woman. Loves her music, loves performing, loves the people that come see her, and she's out there pushing her music out. And she's doing it right. She's not screwing anybody over. She's not making a point of anything except, here's my music, here's my story, here are my words, and here are my compositions. And she presents them, and that's pretty admirable.
And she lives what she sings about.
Exactly.
You know, which is another thing I think that, as far as DIY, that whole mentality of doing it yourself, that is the epitome of what it is.
Right.
Is living what your songs, living it, you know. And that sounds like it could be romanticized or easily romanticized, but it's not. It's really, that's it.
But for me,
it's not romantic at all.
No. And for me, Sean, I think what you're getting at is the bigger picture, and that is that comes through in our performances. I think that's something that's definitely lost at the upper levels, at the upper echelons. And a few people still capture it. A few people, like, let's take our friends, the Indigo Girls, that we all know, they still live their lives exactly like their words and deeds in their songs. And they live that way. They help out new people coming up. Hell, Emily's on Don Conoscenti's new album. Nobody in America knows who Don is outside of a regional support group, but Emily played on his album. Not because she was great and offered him anything but her talent, and she liked his music.
Yeah.
Doubting Thomas, she played on their album. Amy does the same thing by putting people on her label like Gerard McHugh and Danielle Howe. I mean, all of those people, the realness, what you were saying, the realness of their lives comes through in their words and their songs and their performances. And that's very, very important.
Who wants to run into the storm? Not me. Just want to get warm. Rock me in the cradle of your arms where I feel safe. Who wants to run into the storm? Not me. Just want to get warm. Rock me in the cradle of your arms where I feel safe. And when the wind begins to roar, get them duly warm. Get them to the shelters and they'll see another day. Caution to the ones who stand against the storm. Seizing up the furies may be a fall from grace. Fall from grace. Fall from grace. Who wants to run into the storm? Not me. I just want to get warm. Rock me in the cradle of your arms where I feel safe. Who wants to run into the storm? Not me, I just want to get warm. Rock me in the cradle of your arms where I feel safe. Rock me in the cradle of your arms where I feel safe. Fall from grace. Fall from grace. Go on now.
I tell you, the thing that keeps me fascinated with these people that we deal with, you and I, that we're hanging around, that we run with, that we play music with, that we meet on the road, who are doing the same thing we're doing, is the realness. There's a realness of conviction to the music. There's a realness of conviction to this lifestyle. There's a realness of conviction to being good, treating people nice, sound men, waitresses, club owners, other musicians. There's a sense of community that goes beyond just Atlanta, just beyond Asheville. It goes all the way across the country. You can meet a songwriter from Denver and you have the same almost exact experiences they do. You're living cheap, you're running hard, and you're writing songs. And that's pretty important, and I don't know, I'm fascinated by it all, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Run into the storm. Y'all can do it for Rich. That was awesome. Once you run into the storm, not me. Just want to get warm. Rock me in the cradle of your arms where I feel safe. Rock me in the cradle of your arms where I feel safe. Fall from grace. Fall from grace. Fall from grace.
By happenstance, my partner Ashley, who I played with Ashley Mark so long, we played 6 years, traveled the roads together as a duo, as a band. We learned a lot about life that way, and that meaning that we learned a lot about how to treat people. You learn real quick that if you're yelling at a sound guy, well, you're going to get bad sound. And not because he's bad at what he does, but because you've treated him unfairly.
Right.
So you learn that you're not going to do that anymore. But you learn it the hard way. You do, but it makes you a better person. It makes you a better human being to learn these lessons. To tip out your wait staff when you're done at the evening, even if it's $1. Even if it's something to show, hey, I appreciate you bringing me a soda to the stage, or I appreciate you telling your 5 friends to come see me because you saw me last time.
I wrote this song for a guy who will be here on Sunday. His name's Larry John Wilson, and this is how I felt that night watching him play his music. He didn't need any more in the monitor just to hear himself sing. He didn't need a pick or a capo. He didn't need anything. He just came to sing. And he sang of his children, man, how he loved them kids. And it sang of all the things to be forgiven and all the things that he did. And I believe that I did them. He was the real deal, man. Storyteller came to town. Storyteller had arrived. Ain't no lie. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Said nobody looked to the left. Nobody looked to the right. Nobody even dared to move in the chairs that night. And it sang, and it sang, and it sang of the beautiful losers, and it sang of the terrified souls, and it sang of the perils of living, Lord, and it sang of the joys, and it sang. And he sang. The storyteller came to town. The storyteller had arrived. Ain't no lie. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. And it sang of the beautiful losers, and it sang of the terrified souls, and it sang of the perils of living, Lord, and it sang of the joys, and it sang, and it sang. The storyteller came to town. The storyteller had arrived. Ain't no lie. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Said and sang of the beautiful losers, and it sang of the terrified souls, and it sang of the perils of living, Lord, and it sang of the joys, and it sang, and it sang. The storyteller came to town. The storyteller had arrived. Ain't no lie. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Thank y'all.
That was a good learning experience, and it was hard, you know, especially for Ashley. I don't mean to say being a woman, but, you know, it's very hard, you know, when you're traveling with males. She's a female, and she's running with 4 males on the road, and we're all grimy and dirty and, you know, talking about things that she can't necessarily relate to. It was hard on her, and then it was hard on us from the other way of, you know, constantly being out there, girlfriends going by the wayside, a lifestyle going by the wayside, and it gets hard, but you have to, like anything else in the world, you have to commit. You have to commit to it, and I think that's what just enamors me to all of these people we know, yourself, me, everyone, that they're committed to the lifestyle of creating art. And boy, you can't get anything more admirable than that in my book. You just can't. You know, that's the highest form of commitment, is to commit to something that's intangible, unwritten, unsung, undone. It's just an idea, and when you commit to something like that, you're a true believer, and that's what I see singer-songwriter in America as. They're the true believers. They're the true believers in morality, spiritualism, sensibility, sensitivity, creativity, art, politics. They're the real committed ones because they're living it, and they're committed to that lifestyle.